To solve the customer problem, I think this is the right way, right flowchart that we can follow. So after logging in, customer will log the incident, then we'll export the problem, then we'll resolve. I think this is the best approach to move on. Okay, Mr. Shahid, but what I feel that this is not the right approach. Most probably the resolved part that should be here, because at the first level, if you can solve this, then that should be closed at this level. It will not go further levels. So this kind of conflict you will have in your project. Managing people is one of the toughest things for a project manager. And dealing with people is the key thing to make your project successful. So how do you manage the conflict in your team? There are available conflict management approaches that you can use. In PMBOK, there are 5 techniques mentioned to deal with conflict. But the description written in PMBOK is actually very difficult to understand the 5 approaches. So rather, I will today show you one great model that is actually used in conflict management. The name of the model is the Thomas-Kilmann conflict resolution model. Using that style, techniques and approaches, you can easily manage the conflicts. In the PMP exam, you may get 4 types of questions related to conflict management. One type of questions can be multiple response type questions, where they will ask you what type of available approaches you have to manage conflicts. That is mentioned in PMBOK and also in the student manual for PMP exam prep. They will provide you some options and checkbox. So you have to select appropriate categories and you have to tick the check boxes. Alright. Second type of questions you may find in the exam that may explain some scenarios, and based on that scenario you have to understand which conflict resolution approach is used there. Alright. So this is actually a classical multiple choice question. And third type questions can be matching questions. There will be scenarios at the left side and at the right, and in the right side you will get the categories of approaches. So based on the scenarios, you have to match it is which category, whether it is avoid or accommodate or compromise or collaborate, right? So this is actually matching type questions. And another questions can be like this. You will be given a scenario. Based on the given scenario, you have to find out what is the best approach in this given scenario. So these 4 types of questions you may find in your PMP exam. So keep watching till the end of this video. So this is the 2-dimensional conflict resolution model, which is actually known as Thomas-Kilmann model. Alright. On the x-axis, there is cooperativeness. That means how much I prefer others' needs, other concerns, other preferences. And at the lowest level is uncooperative, and at the highest level is cooperative. At the y-axis, it is assertiveness. That means my needs or own needs. And at the lowest level is unassertive, and at the highest level is assertive. For the sake of simplicity, you can also write on x-axis 0, 50, 100, and on y-axis 0, 50, 100. So on x-axis, 100 means fully cooperative. For others' needs, I am fully cooperative. And 0 means I am fully uncooperative. And on y-axis, 100 means I am actually concerned about my needs only. So I am fully assertive about my concerns. And 0 means fully unassertive. And 50 on y-axis means middle of assertiveness. And 50 on x-axis means middle of cooperativeness. So these numbers on x-axis and y-axis can be handy to understand and remember the model. So you see there are 5 actually categories of approaches that you can use for your conflict resolution. So this is actually avoiding. So avoiding means this is actually uncooperative, alright, and unassertive. What does it mean? That means neither I am pursuing my concerns nor considering others' concerns. That is actually unassertive, uncooperative. And that approach is known as avoid. So to remember, you can write like this: 0, 0. All right. And complete opposite is collaborative or collaborate. That means where actually we are both actually trying to satisfy each other's full concerns. All right. So it is actually both assertive and both cooperative. So to remember, you can write like this: 100, 100. All right. Let's now talk about compete. So compete is actually assertive and uncooperative. So actually I am pursuing only my concerns at the expense of others. So that is actually compete. In PMBOK it is mentioned as direct or force. So to remember, you can write like this: 100. That means you are only concerning about your own needs. Now let's talk about accommodate. Accommodate is the complete opposite of compete. So here you actually putting preference to others' needs and not thinking about your own needs. So this is actually cooperative and unassertive. All right. So to remember, you can write like this: 0, 100. That means you are putting all the preferences to others' concerns. And compromise is at the middle. So it is actually middle of assertiveness and middle of cooperativeness, where actually we are mutually finding some solution which actually somehow satisfies both of your need and others' needs. So this is actually compromise. So you can write like this: 50, 50. All right. So this is a great model, Thomas-Kilmann's model, which you can use to resolve conflict in any given situation. So this model, if you can remember and understand, then you can solve any questions you face on conflict resolution, conflict management in your PMP exam. And as a project manager, you can apply this Thomas-Kilmann's model in your day-to-day project management for conflict management. Happy learning, happy project management.
Now that we have discussed and understand about conflict management, and we have also discussed about in detail the Thomas-Kilmann model. So now we will try out some sample questions that might be handful for you in the PMP exam. So please remember one thing: whatever simulator you use or practice, the main goal of using a simulator should be to understand the concept. All right. If you find that your answer is wrong, try to find out what is the reason behind that and whether you are missing any concept or not. Please take a piece of paper and pen so that when you will see the question, please pause the video and try it by yourself and then see the answer. This way, this question will be effective for you. So let's get started. So I'm sharing my screen and I am opening up the questions. So this is the first question, and this is actually a multiple response question. So let me read out the question for you. For conflict management, there are 5 techniques or approach that can be used. Choose 3 techniques or approaches that you can use for resolving conflict. Please always see this: choose 3, choose 3. So you have to select 3 responses. All right. So please don't miss this, because if you miss anything, then you will actually give partial answer or incorrect answer. At this moment, you can pause the video and try it by yourself. After trying by yourself, then resume the video again and check what is the correct answer. As we discussed and already know that there are 5 available techniques or approaches that you can use in conflict management situations. All right. So here, avoid will be one answer. Then accommodate will be another one, and third one will be compromise. So if we now click on check to see whether our answer is correct or not. Yes, all 3 are correct. All right. So this is actually multiple response type questions. Now let's see the next question. This win-win conflict resolution technique is the one that project manager should use most. Please remember one thing: conflict is not always bad, especially in technical conflicts where you are getting different kind of argument and different kind of ideas. That is actually good for the team. All right. As a project manager, please remember most of the time you should try to use that collaboration or collaborate, because this is the technique, this is the winning solution. If you can remember Thomas-Kilmann's model, it is actually 100-100, right? We are actually taking multiple views and actually giving priorities of all the concerns available. So that is the best solution. So collaboration will be the answer. Now let's see the next question. So this is the true-false question. So in the PMP exam related to conflict management, you can also get true-false questions. So here is a case. Conflict is a risk factor that always produces a negative result. So as I mentioned earlier, conflict is not always bad. The answer will be what? False. All right. See, the answer is false. Now let's check the fourth questions. This is actually matching type questions. Based on the situation mentioned in the left side, we have to understand it is actually which type of approach that you can select from this list of 5 available approaches of conflict management. So let me read out for you. Let me talk to my team lead. She is handling it now. It is actually not providing any solution. If you can remember Thomas-Kilmann's model, then this situation actually fits here, 0-0. So we are not getting any solution. I am not pursuing my concern nor others' concern. So this is actually what we should select here. We should select withdraw or avoid that approach. Second one, the requirements are my decision and we are doing it my way. So this situation is very easy to understand. This is actually, we are forcing. So as a boss, I am forcing. So as a boss, I am pursuing my decision, my concern. I am not looking after other concerns. If you see the model here, this is actually assertive and this is cooperativeness. So I am actually only seeing my concerns. So this is actually 100-0. So that this will be force, direct or conflict type approach. Now let's talk about our situation. I have looked over the problems and I might be able to ease up on some of the requirements. So what type of solution this will be? I have looked over the problems and I might be able to ease up on some of the requirements. All right. So that will be actually compromise type. So this will fit here, compromise. So middle of assertiveness and middle of cooperativeness. So this answer will be compromise or reconcile. Okay, so now let's see the last one. I have thought about it and you are right. We will do it your way. All right. So what we are doing here, we are actually accommodating. I am not pursuing my concerns. I am actually pursuing other concerns. So it fits here, right? 0-100. So this will be accommodated or smooth. So see, based on the situation mentioned in the left side, we have to find out the right matching. So this type of questions you may find in your exam related to matching category. All right. So all our selection was covered. Now let me check another question. So what is the most, this is simple multiple choice questions. What is the most effective approach to conflict resolution? So which one is the best solution? So remember the best solution is collaborative, where we are actually considering multiple views and we are putting everyone's priority. So collaborating is the best solution. And please remember in Agile teams, especially in Agile teams, whenever any conflict arises in the team, especially if there is a technical concern, technical conflict, so let the team self-organize and collaborate to solve the problem by themselves. All right? Not Scrum Master or Agile coach will put any decision on them. All right. So here the answer will be collaborating. And let me check the answer. Yes, that is the correct answer. This is another example of multiple choice questions. So in the question, the situation is written here. So based on the situation and understanding the situation, you have to answer which approach you use to solve the problem. All right, as a project manager. You are managing a project when 2 of your team members come to you with a disagreement about which feature to work on next. You listen to the first team member, but rather than thinking through the situation and gathering all the information, you decide to go with his idea. Which conflict resolution technique did you use? All right. So if you see this diagram, so this is also another situation where actually we are applying force, compete, or direct. All right. So the answer will be this one, direct or force one. Let me check the answer. Yep. So this is the correct answer. All right. Last question that I will show you, that is question number 8. So you may find this type of question in the exam. This is also known as drag and drop type questions. So in conflict management, we can also get drag and drop type questions. So this is actually very simple question, but in the PMP exam, you might get a situation. Then from the list, you have to drag and drop what type of approach that is related to conflict management. In PMBOK and in student manual, the conflict management approaches having actually synonyms. So withdraw is actually avoid, right? So you have to drag and drop at the right place. Smooth. So synonymously you can use accommodate, that is mentioned in PMBOK. Compromise, that is actually reconcile, right? Then force compete, that is actually direct. And collaborate is problem solve, or in some books it is mentioned as confronting. So this way we have to solve the questions by dragging the answers in the right place. Let's check now. So all the drag and drop options, we actually did it correctly. So that's it. So you may find this type of questions related to conflict management in your real exam. So the more you practice, the more you will grow confidence for your PMP exam.
So that's it for today. See you in some other videos with another important topic. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.